I begin to I begin
About to say good afternoon. Good evening, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Say Less. And I am the hostess with the mostest. I'm Leslie Ann, and I am the host of this here podcast. Fitness podcast created for the everyday individual talking about their weight loss journey, fitness, nutrition, powerlifting, bodybuilding, everything. I created this platform for you, not the one who got the million followers, but just for the everyday person. I have a wonderful guest on tonight. She is a fellow powerlifter. We we still have never met in person. We are been social media friends, like social media friends. That's how I ended up meeting. I don't even know how I connected with her on Instagram, but the powerlifting community is absolutely amazing. And I never met her, like I said, in person, but when you meet somebody, and not just the powerlifting, the whole fitness community in general, it's just a great community. So when you meet people online, and then you finally get a chance to talk to them, it's like we have been friends forever. I mean, we've been following each other for years, right? But we've never met in person. And yesterday I had a chance to actually like talk to her. It was like so weird because I felt like I've known her all this time. And then when I finally talked to her in person, it's like, oh my, we finally met. But she is an absolutely amazing person. I've been following her journey. Very encouraging. We encourage each other after we see our videos or whatever, make comments or whatever. But she is a strong, fine sister. Okay, okay. But I'll let her talk about her story. I don't want to talk too much, but I'm gonna bring her to the stage. Her name is Jennifer Jeancourt, and we just gonna talk fitness, talk life, talk powerlifting. We gonna talk about it all. But most importantly, I want you guys to pay close attention because she is down 100 pounds. So she has an amazing weight loss journey story that actually I can't wait to hear. So I hope her story reaches at least one person. So I'm always grateful if whatever I do or say in the fitness community and I can touch one person, I feel like I've done the will of God. So that is my prayer tonight, that she reaches somebody, that her story touches someone and encourages them to take their behind to the gym. Okay? Without further ado, Jan, get your butt up here, girl. Y'all give her a hand clap of praise.
Hey, hey,
A hand
girl.
clap of praise. It is Sunday.
That was, listen, can you just follow me around all over the place? Because you gassed me up. And like you said,
hey,
you did that. I'm like, okay, I'm starting to feel myself over here.
Y'all, this is Jennifer. Girl. Ain't she
Hello.
beautiful? Look at her. She got her little makeup on, her lipstick.
Here's why. Because I'm sitting at my daughter's vanity and I'm sitting here backstage. I'm like going through her drawer. Oh, you got all the good stuff in here.
This looks cute.
Let me put that on.
Awesome. Thank you for coming on. Like you could have been
Thank you,
anywhere in the
ma'am.
world tonight, but you're
Yeah.
here with me.
I
And I am
wouldn't be
forever
anywhere else.
grateful.
For sure.
So,
Yeah.
Jen, tell us
Yes.
about yourself minus the fitness. We're gonna get into that. But what do
Okay,
you do outside of
just
fitness?
who am
Tell us.
I? Sure.
Yes, who are you?
So yeah, I'm Jen. Ironically, you and I are both from Michigan. I don't think that we put that together until we had been following each other for
I forgot.
a couple of years. Yeah. And then I was like, wait a minute, you're in Detroit. No, I'm from the UP of Michigan. I'm from way up there. I live in South Carolina now. But
Okay.
but we have that Michigan connection.
Yes.
I have a 14-year-old daughter. I'm married. I have a beautiful family. They're wonderful. I have built my career around helping for incarcerated people that are incarcerated.
Mhm.
So I have worked in the prisons for about 15 years or so. I worked on the nonprofit side, helping formerly incarcerated people find jobs. And now I have
Wow.
pivoted. Yeah, I know. Now I have pivoted and I'm working with a program that helps women who don't have insurance get their breast and cervical cancer screenings at no cost. So
Really?
that's so yes, yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy? Like we have whole lives outside of this fitness industry.
Right. So you're in the fitness world. You just think only thing they do is fitness. That's the only thing they do. No, they have a
That's
life.
it.
That is
Yeah.
like wonderful.
It's
Okay, so I'll get that information for you. I'm gonna post that on my page because
yeah.
healthcare is expensive. And for women who
It is.
can't afford mammograms, you
Yes.
know how to get them. Say
Every
less.
single state, in the country has a program. So I can connect whoever, wherever you are in the country, to a
Wow.
program in your state that will pay for those screenings. Yes. It's incredible work.
Well, look out for my page because I will be posting that probably, if not tonight, tomorrow, because that's
Yeah,
very,
for sure.
very important.
Yeah,
Very, very
it
important.
really
That's
is.
so awesome. So you have a family,
Thank you.
husband, daughter. She's a mom,
Yes,
y'all. She ain't
yeah.
just a gym rat. She's a mother too.
And I'm turning my daughter into a gym rat too. So she's my new gym partner and I love it. She's not a power lifter yet, but we're working on it.
That is so cool. Had no idea. Ain't that crazy? See, this is why we need to
It's
talk. Because
exactly
I
outside
didn't
of
know.
Instagram.
Yes, because who knew that you were like you were an important person. You impotent. You are
I
very
mean,
important.
a little bit.
You are very
I just try to
important.
help a little bit.
My goodness, how did we connect? How did we find each other? Something
So
I haven't.
this is gonna make me sound like such a stalker, but when I got into powerlifting, the fitness, like you said, the fitness community is incredible. Like
Hmm.
you will not meet supportive people that support you in the way that
Hmm.
people in the fitness community do.
Right.
And the powerlifting community is a niche market of that. And
Hmm.
when I started powerlifting 3-4 years ago, I got hooked and I said, I want to learn from everybody. And so
Okay.
I would go through my Instagram, I would go through the federation pages,
Hmm.
and I would find people that were following USPA or WRPF or whatever they are,
Hmm.
and I would follow those people. I would find strong women
Hmm.
and then I would follow them because I want to learn from them. I
Right.
want to be great like they are. So that's how I came across. I don't remember how I found you, but that's what I did. And that
But you know what? I
and here we
competed. My
are.
very first show was USPA. That was a
Yeah,
very, and I don't think I've competed under them anymore. But maybe that's what my very first
it
in
might be.
2002 was my first.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my first show. 2000. Yep.
You've been doing this a minute.
I Now what happens is, so I was bodybuilding, right? But in
Right.
the off season of bodybuilding, my coach will write kind of like a similar powerlifting program because
Hmm.
I use powerlifting to build mass. So by the time I
Right.
went to bodybuilding, we were in our cutting season. Oh, that muscle would be nice and dense. It
Right.
would be perfect. So I started bodybuilding in 2009. So it was off and on like that. Now, once I cut out bodybuilding because it started to play with me mentally, and I didn't like that.
Hmm.
Like I
Hmm.
started to see myself differently. My self-esteem started
Yeah.
to. I had to pull away
Yeah.
from that.
That's a tough
So
sport. Yeah.
it's mental, just like
Yeah.
powerlifting.
Yep.
And then, you got to have little bitty bikini in front of all these judges. After a while, they start to
Right.
take a toll on you because it start to make me feel like I was less than by
Yep.
somebody else.
Well,
I
and
felt like I
the
was all
nature
that.
the nature of the sport is comparing yourself to other people. Like that's
Yes.
what bodybuilding is.
And they
And just
made
like you
you
said, just
feel
mentally it
like that.
starts to mess with you.
And they
Hmm.
made you feel like the judges made you feel like,
Yeah.
oh, she's better than you. And in your head, you're
Yeah.
like, I didn't put in all this work, been dieting for
Yeah.
my sonny son. Okay, baby. Been dieting for all these months for them to say, yeah, move, let her go. It's
Yeah.
like it start to
Yeah.
mess with me.
I
I
don't.
don't need that. I was a very confident, strong woman. But anyway, so
Mhm.
in 2020, that's when I said, you know what? I'm gonna pick up powerlifting full time during COVID. So
Okay.
it was November 2020.
Oh, okay.
And that's when I began to hire a coach and all that stuff. Like I really, really wanted to
Yeah.
get into it.
I think I misheard you. I thought you said 2002, and I was like, oh,
Mm-mm.
okay.
No, not 2000, 2000, so
20.
2020. My first competition
Got it.
was 2022.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
2022.
That
Yeah,
was
my
around the
first.
same. So we started around the same time. So yeah, we started around the same time.
Okay, so yeah, that was my first show, and yeah, I went in and won the whole show. Won best lifter,
Yeah, you did.
females best.
Yes, you did.
I had no idea. I didn't know what to expect. So you know how they were talking about you got dots, and then you gonna have. I was like, what are y'all talking about? Like
What
I
does this
had.
mean? I just went
What
in
does this
there and I
mean?
lifted a few things.
And one of my friends, she's a power lifter. She came up to me. She said, "Girl, I think you're gonna win female best lifter." I'm like, "How?" I'm like, "That girl
Yes.
squatted way more than do I." But it was about, however,
It's the
to me, it's still
ratio. It's how. Yeah.
yes. And she's like, "No, that's all going to you." I said, "Well, okay. I mean, if I win, okay, that's cool. That's what I came to do." So I'm in.
I love
I'm on the right track. So perfectly, yeah.
that.
So yeah. So that's how I got into powerlifting. And I competed with USPA. So that's probably how, if you were following pages, I don't even know if I was
Yeah.
on their page, but yeah. So
Yeah.
we've been Instagram friends for since 2022.
Probably.
Been that
Yeah. Probably. Yeah.
long?
Yes. I know. Look at us. Look at us. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So real quick, I'm gonna get into powerlifting.
Okay.
What was the icing on the cake or the wake up call in your weight loss journey? Like what was it to make you say, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired? What was your starting weight into now?
So the it's kind of a long story, but I'll wrap it up. So I knew that when I got pregnant with my daughter, I was only going to have one child. And so I felt like, so I've never had a great relationship with food. I have a very toxic relationship with
Ooh,
food. I
okay.
always have. When I got pregnant, I used that as an excuse to eat whatever I wanted, and I
Me
gained about
too.
80 pounds. I said,
I
I'm
gained
only going to do this
60.
one time. Yep. I'm going to eat all the brownies, the cravings. I don't care. I'm going to eat it all. And I did. And then I had her, and I was unhappy, but I wasn't ready to do anything. But I told myself, I never want her to suffer because of my discomfort in my weight. So I'm not going to hold her back from going to the beach or playing at the park,
Mm-hmm.
or I want to be an active mom for her.
Mm-hmm.
And if that means that I'm uncomfortable, then that's what it is, because this isn't about me, it's about her. And she deserves
Right.
a mom who is active. Um, so I was sick of being uncomfortable. And when I would say she was like 4, I decided it's like that was the line in the sand. I literally got stuck in a slide. I was going down a slide with one of those tube slides, and I got stuck, and I was like, this is it. This
No
is it. I can't
way.
do this anymore. Seriously. I was around 270 pounds or so.
Really?
Um yeah. Yeah. So that was the
If that
line in
ain't
the
a
sand,
wake
and
up
I
call, I
had
don't know what to tell you.
never I
Stuck
had
in it.
never been in the gym before. Never in my life,
So
but
that
I
was my
love the
next
water.
question. And I want
Yeah.
to ask you, so did you already have an active lifestyle and you decided, okay, I need to just drop this weight? No.
No, not I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't grow up in the gym. My family didn't go to the gym.
Okay.
I grew up in a very isolated area, so there wasn't even really a gym. But I like to be in the water. So I found a gym here in my town that has a pool. And
Okay.
if nothing else, I can get in that water with them old ladies and do aqua aerobics. Like I knew that I could do that. And I did.
That's it.
And it was so much fun. And they were so kind and they were so
Mm-hmm.
nice. And it was Aqua Zumba. And the instructor that did the Aqua Zumba also did Zumba on land. And he said,
Okay.
after a couple of months, he was like, Jen, it's time to like go upstairs.
So,
You need to get out of the water.
mm-hmm.
And it took him a couple of weeks of encouraging me. And I like to shake my butt, right? Like if there's anything, if I'm going to do exercise, I want to have fun doing it.
For
So
sure.
I got hooked, and I did Zumba and group fitness classes because the main gym scared me. I didn't, that was for the meatheads.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how to use the machines. It was intimidating. And so I hid in the group classes, and I lost probably about 60 pounds in the group classes, and I met wonderful
Really?
people. Yeah, it was, I mean, body pump and Zumba
Okay, so you
and
did a lot of the group fitness
kickboxing.
classes. Mm-hmm.
Yep, I did all of that. And then the gym was doing a move it or lose it challenge. And so I signed up, and you got a personal trainer for 6 weeks or whatever. And that personal trainer taught me how to lift, taught me how to use the machines, gave me confidence. I feel like personal trainers are really, you guys don't get the credit that you deserve, because you really, it's not just about teaching people how to exercise. It's really just pouring into them the
Yeah.
confidence that they can do hard things, and that they are worthy of being in that gym. It doesn't matter if the guy that the muscle out guy
Yeah.
is using something. You pay for that gym too, and you deserve to be there, and you deserve to work right next to him,
I
and you're working
agree.
probably harder than he is. So
Right.
it was on from there. And then that trainer was a power lifter, and I decided I really like doing this. Yeah, and it was on from there.
And what perfect person to me, what perfect person to teach you proper form and technique.
Right.
Now, I was always, like I said, I've done bodybuilding. I'm very, even with my clients, they'll tell you, I am so meticulous when it comes to form and technique. Like,
Hmm.
to me, that is king in the gym, learning form and technique.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I lost my train of thought. It's gonna come back because I was gonna make a point. I was gonna be so good,
Form and
but it weird.
powerlifting.
I know. So the body, okay, yeah. So power, your coach is a power lifter. To
Hmm.
me, my form and technique shot through the roof. To me, when I started powerlifting,
Yeah. Yep.
I felt like everything changed. Like everything that I knew in bodybuilding and what I was teaching my clients from a bodybuilding standpoint was correct. Now that I've powerlifted, I don't know what it is about powerlifting, but first of all, you got to have perfect form and technique to lift something heavy. Perfect. You
Right.
know what I mean? So
Right.
my form and technique shot through the roof when I started powerlifting.
That's I for me, once I started understanding the reason, I think because powerlifting, when we train our accessories, it's with how is that accessory going to transfer to our main lift?
Nameless. I get it.
And so now we're doing it with a different mindset. Like, I'm
Hmm.
doing tricep extensions, and I'm making sure that I feel it in my triceps, and I'm doing it with integrity, because when I go to lock out my bench, I need to feel it in my like it just, I don't know how to
Is that
describe it,
what it
but
is?
it's a different for me. That's what keeps me accountable to my accessories, because
Okay.
I'm good for just getting them done. Doing them because I have to do them, doing them because the coach told me I have to do 3 sets of 15 of these tricep extensions, and I'm sick of burning out my triceps. But then I have to remind myself, like, this is going to give me a bigger bench. It's not just about doing the exercise, it's about getting a bigger bench and hitting records and,
For
winning meets. And I
sure.
want to get best lifter and all of those things. And so when you look at big picture, you're like, oh, all these little pieces matter. Including
It
nutrition.
does.
Like, we haven't even talked about that.
Not
Nutrition is a
yet.
big piece
Uh-huh.
of this too, right?
Big picture piece. I'm
All
gonna
these
go
little
back.
tiny
And
things.
then, okay. So Jen is going to explain more when we get to the powerlifting side, because people are like accessories. What the heck y'all talking about? We're gonna explain. We'll explain what our accessories are and powerlifting. We'll get into that. I'm gonna circle back around so we can talk about the nutrition, because you
Right.
just didn't lose 60 pounds doing a whole bunch of aerobics. Your nutrition had to play a part. How much of a
Had
part
to.
was that? And then tell us what it looked like for you.
I would say it was 80% of my weight loss journey was my nutrition. And listen, I work hard in the gym, but don't get it twisted. I'm a lazy person. Like, I'm not going to go to the gym and do all this work and then go home and eat cheeseburgers and, like, French fries.
It
That's
depends. If I hit the PR, I will. So, but we'll go ahead.
well, so okay, so that might have been, so now that I'm powerlifting, I can do that a little
Right.
more.
Y'all,
But
we talking about her initial weight loss journey, y'all. Let's circle
right,
back.
general fitness, I'm not gonna go. I did like boot camp style for a while too, so very hard conditioning. I'm not gonna do all of that and then go home and eat 2 times the calories that I just burned. That's silly.
Yeah.
Um, So I just did it through calorie deficit. I will scream calorie deficit until the day that I die. I get that other programs work for other people. At the
Right,
end
right.
of the day, it all comes down to a calorie deficit. It doesn't
It
matter
does.
what box you put it in, you're just eating less food than you used to. Again, I don't have a great relationship with food, so I had to weigh my food. I will not
Mm-hmm.
eat a meal if I haven't weighed it, because I will, I will
Overeat.
overeat very easily. So I have to weigh everything. I mean, chicken and rice, chicken and rice, chicken and rice. And there's a bodybuilder that I follow. She said something a couple of years ago. I've been following her for a couple of years. She said she was a power lifter. She's now an IFBB pro bodybuilder. So crossover, she knows her stuff. And she said, "You don't hate to eat unhealthy food. You just don't know how to cook." And I was like, "Oh, she's
Say
speaking to
say
me."
that again. Say that again for people in the back.
You don't hate unhealthy food. You just don't know how to cook. And when she said
Wow.
that, I was like, "You're right. I don't know how to I just keep eating the same thing over and over again, and it's boring, and then when I go off track, it's because I don't think this has any flavor." But you can cook healthy food. There are healthy recipes out there that are delicious.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
just it's about effort. It's about
Mm,
putting in the effort. It's about planning. That is another thing. I have an unhealthy relationship with food. So I have to plan my meals for the entire week. Otherwise, I get this weird food insecurity. Like if I don't know where meals are coming, then I get a little anxious. If I don't know, if I'm not prepared, because what am I going to cook? And I might mess it up. And I may as well just go to the fast food place down the road, because it's just a lot easier. I didn't plan for this. And, like now my whole week is shot to hell. But
right.
that's I know those things about me, and it's a lot better than it used to be, but it really goes into the planning. You have to set yourself up for success in order to hit your goals. It's not just going to happen. And
Nope.
I think another big part of it is following people like you or the bodybuilder that I just talked about. Um, surrounding myself with good content. So fitness influencer, the fitness industry is full of you. If you
Info.
want
Mm,
information, you can find it, but that
you
doesn't
can
mean that it's
find
good
it.
information. And so
Yes.
I just went through my Instagram. Every couple of months or so, I'll go through my Instagram and I'll get rid of people
You'll
that are
clean it out.
not, yes, that are not aligned with where my goals are headed.
Got
And
it. That's good.
yeah, it's just the things that you expose yourself to matter, even if you
Mm-hmm.
don't recognize it consciously. So if you see people that are maybe body shaming, or when they're presenting like healthy meal ideas, they're harsh about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, get rid of that content,
For
because
sure.
you don't have to be filled with shame, or feel like you're in this negative space just because you have to lose some weight. Like we all have things that we have to work on, and I think that you just have to be intentional about the things that you're exposing yourself to. So there are some great accounts out there that do a great job dropping meal plans for free, and the people that put out this content for free, I swear they're getting a one-way ticket to heaven, because they are really doing a service for
They are.
everybody else, and it matters. Like you said in your
Mm,
introduction, I mean, this stuff matters, and people are listening. And so I think that and another reason that I'm grateful to be here is because I think that once you kind of get it figured out, I'm not saying that I've got it all figured out. I have my
right.
days too. But once we get it a little bit figured out, it is our duty to pass
Mm-hmm.
that information on to the next person, because
Exactly.
we didn't do it alone. I
We
didn't do
don't.
it alone.
No, you pass that information on, because I just feel like if I know something, I'm gonna give it to you, and I'm praying to God that you give it to somebody else, and we'll look up the whole world to be healthy in the
Okay.
real. I mean, in
That
the
would be
real world,
beautiful. Right.
everybody just healthy.
I
Like
mean,
nobody got no illnesses, but
right.
that doesn't mean that it can't happen. But
Hmm.
whatever I learn, I do believe in just give the information to other people. Like
Right.
everything, you shouldn't charge everybody for everything. To me,
Right.
that's how I
Right.
feel.
Right. And that can be a little selling point too. Like, oh, Leslie knows what she's talking about. Let me look her up. Let me look at her website. Let me look at her podcast. Let me look at her
Mm,
YouTube. oh, I can get more information from her if I hire her as my coach, right? So sometimes sprinkling some of that information is good for business
If
too.
you just don't do it all, but
Yeah.
here and there and everywhere. But for the
Hmm.
most part, that is just a goal of mine. Some stuff is like, why would I keep it to myself? Like, why?
Right.
When people
Right.
need it. And sometimes people
Right.
can't always afford it. It is people out here all the time that is just
Yes.
this person following this thing and this thing and this thing. But she said this, but I went on his page and he said the same thing. But a ball of confusion. Guess what's
It
happening?
is.
When you get confused, you give up.
Yeah.
You give up.
Yes. And I think another layer, because there's so many layers to all of this, is the competitive nature in the fitness industry too, especially amongst females, right? And so I think, like you and I started following you because I want to learn as much as I can from you. I just wanted to see what you are doing. You post your workout videos, and I can get little tips. And I've taken some of the exercises or the accessories that you're doing and have incorporated them into my own training. I'm not competing against you. You're not competing against me. We're just
Right.
lifting each other up. But sometimes people want to gatekeep that information because, oh, I don't want Leslie to get stronger than I am, so I can't give her any information. That's just weird behavior to me. That's just a weird mindset. Like, we
But
can
it
all be
happens.
great. There's room for everybody.
It's room for everybody. And why wouldn't
Yeah.
you want the next woman to be just as strong as you? Like, why
Yes.
wouldn't you?
Yes. My daughter just told me, she just told me the other day, we were at the gym. She said, my goal, mom, we were doing accessories together. We don't usually, she doesn't necessarily like to work out side by side, but we were doing hip abductions, and she was doing the same weight that I was doing. And she said, my goal in life is to be stronger than you, mom. And I said, girl, I hope you get it.
You're her
I hope you
hero.
are.
And tell her that she will be. You know what I'm saying?
She
We
will
old.
be.
She got
Right.
she's 30 years
Right.
our junior. She will
Yep.
be. You ain't gotta worry about that. That is
I
awesome.
know.
So diet plays a major part. And
It's
like you
huge.
said, you eat more calories than you burning, you're gonna be big. I don't care if nobody
Yep.
say it. It's
Yep.
calories in versus calories out.
And
Period.
I think you just have to remember, you can lose weight without ever stepping foot in a gym. You don't
You
have to
can,
go to the gym. The
you
gym is like
can.
icing on the cake. At this point, I get to go to the gym. I love going to the gym, and that's my mindset. But it used to be, oh my God, I have to go to the gym. But you can lose weight. You don't have to start there. If the gym is intimidating to you, just make
Go
small
outside.
changes.
Go walk.
Yeah,
Go
go for a walk.
anything. I
Yes, little
agree. I agree.
anything, any change is gonna get you closer to where you are right now.
But pay attention, you guys. But that diet. And people say, but I've been doing it. I tried it. And then, no, you ain't
Are you
tried hard
tracking?
enough.
Are you weighing your food? Are you putting it into my
That's the
fitness pal? And
thing.
are you doing it with
And so I tell my
integrity?
clients, write it down. Everything you eat, write it
Right.
down for 2 days.
Yep.
And then I'm going to tell you why. This is probably why we're lagging in this
Right.
I'm not losing weight phase. I'm going to tell you why. Write
Yeah.
everything down. Just be honest. If you start lying, you're really not going to lose weight. You have to be honest in this process. That's the only way people are going to be able to help you. Honesty pays. Yeah. Honesty is really, really big. If you really want to lose weight, you got to be honest. You got to be honest. Now, so you lost all the weight and you were in group training. What point did you hire a personal trainer? Now, I know you had a trainer doing the 6 weeks. Did you continue or what did you do? Start doing stuff on your own? Let me know. Oh, there we go. Jen, you still there? Still there? You're
Can you
there, but
hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
I don't know what happened.
Your camera on? Camera,
I'm here.
camera.
I
Let me
might.
see. Let me see. Do.
There it
Okay, there
goes.
you are. There we go. Ethan, you hold on 1 second. Off the bed. Okay, there we go. All right, here we go. Did you hear my question?
I didn't. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. So you got a personal trainer. That trainer helped with your lifting techniques, and I knew that was from a 6-week program. Did you hire a one-on? Did you continue with the personal training?
So I did boot camp style for a little bit with him. I was kind of locked into a contract at the gym for the boot camp style. And then I left that gym because it was a corporate gym. So I
Okay.
was ready for something a little grittier, something with more powerlifty kind of things that I could do. And so I hired him and did that virtually. He did my first meet with me, and then we still live together now. I hired a different coach. I hired a female coach. She was wonderful. She did 2 off seasons and 2 preps with me, and right now I'm just on my own.
Okay, cool. So how important is having a coach or hiring a trainer when you're first starting out in the gym?
It is.
How important is that?
It is. It's critical. Because I wouldn't do the things that I don't like to do. I would just keep recycling the things that I like to do, and that's not going to get me. If my goal is to lose another 20 pounds, I'm going to keep eating the same thing that I'm going to be eating, and that might not be what I need. I need somebody to keep me accountable. I need somebody to pour into me on the days that I'm feeling like giving up, or I'm just not doing enough, or I can't figure it out, because weight loss isn't a straight line, right? I guess it's this way. It's not a straight line. We go up and
Right.
down and up and down and up and down and up and down. Sometimes I need somebody to remind me of that.
Okay.
I need somebody to keep me accountable to my form. Our coaches can see things in us that we don't see.
Exactly.
And so we need it's just we need them. It's just coaches
very important.
hold a special spot in my heart, because y'all have a tough job. I mean, you are like therapist, physical therapist,
doctor. Sometimes I'll be like, the stuff that people ask is like, let me remind you, I'm not a doctor. I have no idea what you have. I don't know. Well, how do I train when I got gout? I'm like, I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
We can research it together, but I'm not a doctor. But you are right. We are doctors, therapists. Yes.
Right.
But the thing about that part, I don't mind. And even though I'm not certified, I have no experience in that stuff. Not stuff, but that's a career for people. I enjoy it. And when I sit down and talk to my clients, or when they break down sometimes during the session, it's always good to have those therapy moments, because sometimes in those therapy moments, you figure out, oh, this is why you overeat.
Right.
Oh, this is why you've gained so much weight. This is why you have a poor relationship with food. So those moments can be long, but I appreciate them, because I'm the personal trainer. I want to dig deeper, because I want to know why you feel like you can't lose weight. I want to know why, like what's going on personally. You know what I mean?
It's so important. My last coach, I mean, she had me tracking. She did my nutrition with me too, but tracking my sleep, tracking how I was feeling that day, tracking my water intake, tracking literally everything, because all of it matters. Like, if you're not getting enough sleep in a day, you're not setting yourself up to be a healthy, successful person that's going to reach your goals. I cannot describe how important sleep is in this process. And if you can't sleep because you're stressed, or maybe you have a newborn, or there are things going on at home, like all of those things are important for your trainer to know, so that they don't feel like they're programming right? Like they may not need to adjust their programming. It might just be there are some other factors that are going on that are outside of the gym or outside of nutrition that are impacting your weight loss or strength gain or whatever your goals are. Yeah.
Big time. Oh my God, that is so good. But it's good to have, that's what I'm saying, coaches.
You want me to follow you around with your clients?
He's like, Jen, okay, talk.
I hope they're listening.
Right. So for people are listening, if you're starting out and you need to hire a coach, I had the money. Man, because what happens is you start listening to this person, this influencer, that one. Then you go to TikTok and do the same exact thing. You get confused. You don't know what is right. You don't know. And you will set yourself up for failure. You have to hire a coach and listen to that coach. Nobody else.
Nobody else.
A lot of y'all got coaches.
There's going to be people that are going to try and interview. Everybody has a philosophy. And that doesn't mean that you have a philosophy for training and your coworker might have a different philosophy
Mhm.
for training. That doesn't mean that one of you is wrong.
Right.
But if you listen to somebody else and you're listening to their methods, it's interfering with your coach's programming, because
Mhm.
your coach has like it's all science. There's a progression
For sure.
that they're trying to program for you. If you start listening to somebody else and they start planting seeds of doubt, then it's disrupting your process. And it's okay. I think that you have to feel confident in your ability to communicate with your trainer and
Mhm.
say, hey, I'm not understanding big picture. Like, I
Right.
want to trust the process. And I've had to have that conversation with coaches before. Like, I trust you're a great coach. You have a 500 plus dot score. I know that you know what you're doing for
Yeah, yeah.
powerlifting world. That's important.
Mhm.
um, but I don't understand the vision right now. And so can you help me understand where we're going? And she did. And she took time and she explained to me. And then I was like, okay, now I trust the process again. But if I would have expressed those feelings to somebody else, they would have started saying, oh yeah, Jen, don't listen to her. Instead of doing this exercise, you should be doing that. And instead of doing
Yep.
this, you should need to do that. And stop eating this, you got to eat that. And then my
You
training
just
is
go.
tanking and she doesn't know why.
Right.
And
And
that's not fair.
even though what that other person said outside of what your coach tell you to do, and you're like, okay, I'm still listening to my coach, but that stuff, what that person said, sits in your subconscious, and at some point you're gonna act on it because it's just sitting
Right.
there. It's gonna come to the
Right.
forefront. So that's why I
Right.
say you got to zero people out. You got to
Hmm.
zero. You have to find that one person you can trust. To me, with nutrition and training, it's always good to have one. I never had one. I have somebody do my nutrition and my training separately. But that's how it's always been, because my nutrition person, she's been my nutrition coach since I got into bodybuilding. So I just,
Yeah.
anytime, she knows both sports. And if I needed to write something for powerlifters, she can. But
Yeah.
if I would tell that one person, make sure your coach knows both. That way you don't have to spend extra money. You know
Right.
what I mean? She knows the sport. She knows the game of eating. So it's important. Don't just hire somebody. Hire somebody who knows nutrition as well.
Yeah. It's important. You can, like I said, you can lose weight without ever stepping foot in the gym. Nutrition is so much more important than the rest of it.
So much important. Now here's the big trend, because she gonna talk about a sport that I absolutely love. I mean, bodybuilding, yeah, whatever. But powerlifting. This is what Jen does. She's an
Man.
eight-time state record holder. If
Yeah.
y'all don't understand that, that is huge. Like, like huge. Like,
Yeah.
if I needed a coach and knew that about, I would hire her for that alone. Because I'm like, oh, you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So
I love
she
powerlifting.
talk about power. First of all, what is powerlifting? Talk about it. And she's a coach too in powerlifting. So yeah, she's gonna give y'all all the rundown of what powerlifting is. And then you'll know why we were
Yeah.
talking about these accessories. Okay.
So powerlifting is getting as strong as you can in three main lifts: in squat, in your bench, and your deadlift. It sounds super simple, but in order to get as strong as you can in those three lifts, you have to do what we call accessories. And so that would be um, your general fitness movements like tricep extensions if it's a bench day for me. So
Mhm.
let me back up. Also, a lot of people will say, like, oh, you'll walk into the gym. What are you doing today? A lot of people will say, oh, I'm doing legs, or I'm doing shoulders, or I'm doing arms. Powerlifters train lifts. So for
Lifts.
me, if I walk into the gym, Jen, what are you doing? I'm squatting today. I'm squatting and I'm doing all of my accessories to make my squat stronger.
Stronger.
So that's what I did this morning. I squatted. My accessories were good mornings and Bulgarian split squats and hamstring curls, and those are my accessories. They complement and they make my main lift stronger. If it's a bench day, tomorrow I'm going to go bench. My accessories are going to be, gosh, I'm going to do floor presses, and I'm going to do tricep extensions, and I'm going to do rows, and I'm going to do all of that stuff because that's going to give me a stronger bench. So we train some power lifters will compete more often, but usually it's 2 to 3 times a year. That's kind of average for the younger kids. I'm a little older. I've taken a little bit of time off. Because it's really hard on the body
Mhm.
to get as strong as you can. It's really hard on the body, so we tend to take longer off seasons. So that's basically, we'll go compete. We do our main lifts, our 3 lifts, and whoever is the strongest person gets the shiny medals.
Get the pretty shiny medals. And I'm gonna pause for a second because yeah, Jen, she just talked, but I'm gonna show y'all. I got a video of her. So in this
My
video, she gonna show y'all better than she can tell y'all. Okay. So I'm gonna play the video. We can come back and you can explain the
Sure.
video. Okay. So Jen, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kick you out again, and we're gonna get this video going. Here we go.
That's a good lift.
Okay. Y'all just seen Jen, okay? Now that is at a competition. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. That was a great squat too.
Thank you. Thank you. So that was 303 pounds. So that was my baby. So squat is my least favorite lift. It's my most challenging lift. It's the lift that gets in my head the most. And to be able to break 300 pounds was incredible. I guess when I explained powerlifting, I forgot that there's like these standards that you have to meet when you in your lifts, especially for squat. You have to meet depth. You saw in the video, there's a judge at the front, there's a judge on each side of you, and they are watching to make sure that you followed all the commands. So I don't get to lift until that head judge tells me to do it. And I don't get to put the bar back in the rack until he tells me to rack it. So all the judges are making sure that I'm meeting the standards of each lift. And that was an incredible day. That prep for me didn't go well. I was tired. My shoulder hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I have bicep tendonitis. Like I even driving there that morning, I just remember being like, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know how this is going to go. And that was the meet that I broke 8 records.
Can y'all believe that? 8? Dang on. That has to be.
I will say,
phenomenal.
so it was incredible. There was also a group of Special Olympians that were competing that day. And if you ever get the opportunity to compete with Special Olympians, I hope that you take it, because they gave me so much, they filled my soul. They gave me so much joy. I mean, they were just cheering me on and so happy, and they were competing and they were crushing it. And how could anybody doubt themselves in an environment like that? It was incredible. So it was a beautiful day.
I will do. Now for powerlifting, then you are a judge, right?
I am.
You are a judge.
Last weekend, I just got my referee certification. So I am a state referee for Powerlifting United. Yeah.
It's good for you. I don't think I want to go that far. I just think I'll just be a handler spot. I like that. Because it's a workout.
It really is. And that's why I went the other way, because I spotted and loaded one time at a meet, and it took me out for like a month. I was like,
it takes me out for a couple of days.
It was so much. Yeah. I think I had like something goofy happened in my knee when I was spotting the squats. So yeah, I want to sit in the chair.
Chair, no, yes, or hit the button.
Right.
Hit the gear and hit the button. There you go. Say start.
That's it.
I'm not gonna get one of my questions yet because I want to talk about powerlifting a little bit more. Now, let's talk difference in diet, difference in eating. And I know you said we both said that calorie deficit is key. You want to drop body fat. Being in a calorie deficit, trying to powerlift is, to me, impossible.
It's not going to work.
What's the difference in the two, and how did that affect your lifts?
Yeah, that's a great question. So in my off season, I will be in a calorie deficit because I do more volume work. So higher reps, lighter weight. And I cut some of that weight that I gain while I'm in prep for a meet. When you're in prep, or when you're trying to get as strong as possible, you have to eat. If you don't eat, you're not going to get stronger. Your body needs that extra protein and the carbs for your energy. And, I feel like everybody wants to say bad things about carbs, but you need to eat your carbs because that's what gives you energy. And
you need to eat carbs. Okay. See, I ain't the only one saying this. So she's saying it too.
And it's about the source. It's about where are you getting your carbs from, right?
For
Like you
sure.
can make good decisions just in your macronutrients.
Mm-hmm.
But so when I'm in prep and I'm trying to get as strong as possible, I'm probably eating in a little bit of a surplus. I don't want to gain
Okay.
too much because we have to stay within certain weight categories, but I am going to expect that I gain weight. I was in prep, so I weigh more right now than I used to. I have a healthier relationship with my body and food right now, so I'm okay with it. And I also have gained the confidence that I know how to take it off again. Like I
Awesome.
have proven to myself that I know how to cut when I need to. And so now that I'm not in prep anymore, I'm gonna be able to get into that calorie deficit. I'm not gonna worry about being as strong as I can, knowing that I can't when I'm in a calorie deficit. My body isn't prepared to lift the amount of weight that I might want it to, just because I'm not eating as much as I can. So I think that's the difference between powerlifting. When you're on, you get to eat a little bit more. And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
probably why I like powerlifting because I like to eat. It gives me that flexibility to do that. But also having boundaries for myself. And I think that's a big thing is learning how to set those boundaries for yourself and knowing when to pull back. And right now it's time to pull back. And I can do that for a couple of months and I can take, 10, 15 pounds off and then feel good again, feel good about
Mm-hmm.
myself just in time for summer. And then we'll go from there.
Because summer, we got to have our summer bodies. Summer
It's
bodies.
coming.
Now, while you were talking, so for powerlifting, you said you put yourself in a little bit of a calorie surplus. I mean, she's eating more than her maintenance calories. She's not in that deficit. How important is it to still eat a fairly clean diet while being in the surplus? The
Oh,
surplus mean I
you
can just go
have
get a
to.
couple hamburgers from fast food. What does that, you know what I mean? So people kind of got to get confused about it because
Yeah.
you're eating a surplus, meaning you're eating more. But does that mean you can eat more junk food?
No, yeah, no. You still have to be disciplined. So you still have to hit your macros. I track my macros. So that's your fats, your carbs, and your protein. So I might, if I'm going to be in a surplus, I'm going to give myself a few grams more of each of those. But it still needs to be from pretty clean sources. It just means I'm
Right.
eating a little bit more chicken and rice than I was before I was in a surplus. It doesn't mean I'm going to the fast food places and eating whatever I want. I think sometimes power lifters in the past, the stereotypical power lifter, that's what it
Right.
is. You just get to eat whatever you want. I don't
Mhm.
want to. You can be a power lifter and not look like
Like a bigger. Just put it that way.
big.
Because people
Right.
associate, they associate. That's why when people see me like, you ain't no power lifter, more like a bodybuilder. I'm like, no, I'm a power lifter. I just happen to be a little leaner than I was when I was powerlifting. But no,
Yeah.
I'm still a power lifter because people in
Yeah.
their minds thinking you should be, they've seen just bigger power lifters.
Right.
And that's what they
Big
associate
bellies.
powerlifting with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not
But you don't have
that's
to
not what I'm
be.
trying to do. That's not you can power lift and be strong and not take on that whole stereotype. It's important.
Exactly.
And you feel better when you eat, if you're going to eat greasy things, you're not going to want to wake up and train and be
That's the
able to
next
function
question.
at your
That is
highest
my
potential.
next question. You
You
can never outtrain a bad diet.
you
So that
can't.
means,
Yeah.
have you ever experienced that? And if you did, tell us about a time when you tried to outtrain your bad diet.
So yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think my very first meet, just because I didn't know, I think I made a lot of mistakes. And so that was, I thought that it was going to give me the flexibility to eat whatever I wanted. And then I couldn't figure out why my training wasn't going well. I was sluggish. I didn't have endurance I mean, powerlifting, your training is at least 2 hours long
Yeah.
ish, right? Hour and a
Yep.
half is a good day.
It's a good day.
It's about 2 hours. If you haven't set yourself up to be able to endure that
That's
training for
good.
2 hours, you're not going to make it. You're going to put in all of this work and it's going to be for nothing because you haven't set your body up
I
to be
agree.
able to maintain that. And so eating cheeseburgers and french fries and all of that stuff, you're going to wake up and who wants to go train for 2 hours? I put that belt on. I put my lifting belt on and I like can't get it closed. And then I try to deadlift and I'm bent over and
Now you can't breathe, about to throw
I
up.
can't breathe. And so you have to clean it up. And when you feel good, you look good and you perform better. And so
Sure do.
then at the end, towards the end of that meet, all of a sudden it was important for me to hit weight. And so then I started cutting and I didn't tell my coach. And he is like, "What is happening? You're not getting stronger." Like I'm supposed to be peaking and I'm secretly cutting because I had gained too much weight. And so don't do what I did. I mean, I feel like every new powerlifter kind of makes some of these mistakes, but it was I was just shooting myself in the foot, and I was doing all of this work for nothing. And I did not have a great first meet. I hurt myself in warm-ups on squats. And
What? Aw.
yes, yeah, like it was not good. I went through with the meet. I almost bombed out on squats because it was my last warm-up. My hip popped at the bottom of the squat and I stood it back up and I knew something wasn't right. I did not, my first two squats were not successful. My third one was successful. I stayed in the meet. I finished the meet. It was very painful. So you just have to treat your body better. You just have to treat yourself with respect because you deserve it. You deserve to be able to function at your highest. And if you want these goals, if you truly want to hit these goals, you have to act like it. And
Yeah.
sometimes that's being disciplined and not caving into yourself, even though you might have these intrusive thoughts. Like, I want a candy bar. I love Sour Patch Kids. I want Sour Patch Kids. I want a cheeseburger. I want this. I want that. Yeah, but I want to have a 350-pound squat. And so what's
Okay.
more important to me in that moment, right? Is
Not,
it eating the Sour Patch Kids? Because I could reason with myself and say, okay, today it's just one bag of Sour Patch Kids.
mhm.
But over the course of the year, it's like 50 bags of Sour Patch Kids, right?
If you want, I mean, if you put it like that, 50 pounds
Right,
of Sour Patch Kids. I always tell
right.
people, and this is how I live and am able to maintain, because I try to do during the week. I don't try, I do it. I'm done with the I try. No, I just do it. So 85% of my diet is clean. Um,
Mhm.
but what keeps me, okay, Les, you can't have that, is because I tell myself whatever I eat today, my body stores it for fuel for my workout tomorrow.
Right,
I love the gym. I love lifting. And when I don't have a good lift or gym session, I am bombed.
right.
And so that's what I tell myself to stay on track. Like, yeah, you want the candy bar stuff. And to me, I believe in the 80-20 rule. 80% healthy whole, 20% of the food you like. Why? Because we human. And every now and
Yeah.
then I want to almond
Nice
joy.
little treat.
King.
Right.
A king size almond joy. I don't want two, I want four. So, but
As
I
you should.
always remind myself that, let's okay. So if you had those four almond joys today, how you think you're gonna feel with your lift tomorrow? And you
Right,
love training glutes and hamstrings. Oh, I can't really squat right now, but I love pulling and deadlifting. How is this going to affect your lift? I'll just like forget it. It ain't worth it. I'll wait till the week. I'll wait till the weekend. But that's how I stay on track, because I always tell myself whatever I eat today is fuel for tomorrow, and I
right,
want to have
right.
a great lift.
And that 80-20 rule is a game changer for a lot of people, especially when you're first getting started. You feel like you have to hit 100%. And that's just going to set yourself up for
For
failure because
failure.
nobody's perfect. Nobody's going to hit their
Nobody.
nutrition or their fitness 100% of the time.
Hmm.
80% of the time is reasonable. And that gives you a little bit of wiggle room so that when you do want those Sour Patch Kids, maybe once a month, you can have them.
You can
If I
have
want
it.
to Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Like you said, we're human.
We're
It's
human,
nice
and
to treat yourself once
yes,
in a
we
while.
want to go to the birthday parties and have birthday cake. We want to go with our friends and have a
Yes.
drink. You can, but I always tell
Yeah.
people you got to eat healthy whole though. You can't just it can't be 80% eat what I want, 20%. For a lot of people, it is. But I promise you, if you adapt that thinking, 85% of my diet is going to be healthy whole. 8 times, 9 times out of 10, you don't even want the 20% sometimes. You can do
Right.
without
It's
it.
not worth it. And that feels so good when you get to that point where you're like, you know what? It's just not worth it because I know tomorrow I'm going to deadlift and I'm going to be bloated and I'm not going to be like, it's going to be uncomfortable.
It's just like I don't want to wake up
So
tomorrow
it's
and be
not
like,
worth it.
"Oh my God, why did I do that?" I don't want that feeling. I just don't want. I don't
Right.
want that feeling. And so I feel like, yeah, I'll go ahead and eat a couple. Two. I love broccoli. I'm gonna have 2 cups of broccoli, and it's gonna fill me up, and I'm gonna go to
Yep.
bed. And then,
Yep.
maybe, on Thursday when I hit a PR or whatever, I can reward myself with just 2 almond joys, but not 4 pack. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's how I
Right.
work. That would be my treat. And then I
I like
jump
it.
right back on it. When I say like my next meal is now, I'm back to my proteins, carbs, and my fats. I'm right back on it. But I do allow myself, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm human. I am human. It's either go when I hit a
Right.
PR, it's either go buy a new
Right.
pair of shoes or just have 2 almond joys. And almond joys is cheaper, so shoes is like $200. So I kind of weigh my
Right.
options, and I'm okay with it. And that's what I try to teach my clients and other people. 80/20 rule. You cannot. That's life, and you can do the 80/20 rule
Right.
forever, forever. Not a
Right.
1,200 calorie
Right.
diet, not the Atkins diet. People want to be able to
It has
live.
to be sustainable.
Yes, that's the word. It's sustainable.
Yeah.
And you
Yep.
can do the 80/20 rule
Yep.
to the day you go to the grave and still lose weight, still
Yep.
maintain. And we talking about, look at little cat, my finger. Still lose weight, still maintain, and you can be in the surplus and do what you need to do. You can, but
Yep.
you have to allow yourself to have those moments only if you've been good. You've been
Yep.
good. You
Yep.
can't have your 20% every day. Don't do that. That's not what I'm saying.
That don't work.
That's
That
not what
math
I'm
doesn't
saying.
math.
Yeah, that math ain't math. You're gonna look up and then you're gonna be like, well, I got a belly because you having your 20% every day.
Right. Right.
20% is every now and again. Every now
It's
I don't have my
reasonable.
20%. Yes. And
Yeah.
it's you're satisfied and you get right back onto your healthy eating.
Yep.
Am I right or am I wrong? Am I
Preach it.
preaching or am I not
You
preaching?
you are
It is
preaching.
Sunday. All right, Jen. What are some of your favorite apps and tools that you use to track your progress?
Um, I am old school with my gym. I write in a notebook. I have a fitness notebook that I got for $6 off of Amazon. And I have them all stacked up. They're on a shelf. I can go back to 2022 and I can tell you what
Baby,
workout
let
and
me
how
tell
at
you.
what weight I was lifting things. So I do an old school fitness tracker. I get roasted for it at the gym. They're like, "Oh, look at Jen's writing in her diary again." I'm like, "And I am." But I use my fitness pal to track my food. I cannot stress this enough. I can't just like eyeball it. I
Yeah.
have to, and sometimes
So you're
I
not
will
there
put
yet,
that.
because I can eyeball protein. I can tell you what 5 and 6, 7 ounces of protein look
So
like.
I can do that. I can't just, I'll forget what I ate throughout the day
Oh,
and I'll go over my calorie deficit. I'll quote unquote, I'll forget. Oh yeah, I forgot that. Um, another little tip that I do, because I do get kind of hyper fixated on food. I put all my food in for the day at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm eating this and this and this and this, and I have my entire day mapped
already
out in
planned.
my fitness pal.
Hmm.
And that goes with the planning, because then there's a little bit of security. I know that, I can, and I'll usually save myself about 200 calories, because at the end of the day, I'm hungry, and then I have a little bit of wiggle room, and I can eat a little snack if
Oh,
I'm
that's a
if
good
I'm
idea.
hungry at the end of the day. But yeah, those are the two things I have: my fitness journal, pen and paper, old school, and my fitness pal.
And I'm my fitness pal. I used to plan my meals. I would plan them in the bed, getting ready to go to sleep. So when I
Yep.
wake up. But that was when I was kind of different from you're the credit tracking macro. A lot of people don't know how to track macros. So they're on a
Yeah.
custom program. I think macros are wonderful because guess what? You create your own meals. You just got to stay within your
Right.
range. Yeah,
Right.
we need to do a
It took
show
it
about
took a
that.
little finessing. It took a little bit for me to learn
Mm-hmm.
how to do that. And again, I think I learned from people on Instagram, or, you know, good accounts that I follow to teach me how to do that. And once you figure out the macros, I really do feel better. I feel better
You
when I
do.
hit my macros. And if I'm
It's an
eating too many carbs,
accomplishment.
I feel icky. If I'm eating too much protein, I feel, I feel off. So yeah, tracking my macros works
Fitness,
for me.
my fitness pal, y'all, is a game changer for the food. How do you deal with setbacks or injuries in your powerlifting journey?
Yikes.
How you deal with
I'm
them?
still learning. I'm still learning that one. I have learned, so I have a binge eating disorder. So sometimes I will have a really bad day and I don't track that day because I don't
Mm-hmm.
need to feel shame. I already feel shame. I don't need to just like drive it in by putting everything that I overate in my fitness pal. So giving myself grace for those moments while also, maintaining some discipline is important. So I'll like, if I'm going to binge eat, it's going to be in the middle of the night. It's going to be 3 o'clock in the morning. I
Really?
wake up, I'm hungry, I overeat. The next day, I don't need to punish myself for it. The next day is just another day. And so I still have, if I'm eating 2,200 calories, I get my 2,200 calories. And the scale might not move that week.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because the following week, it might. So I've had to learn how to give myself grace. I've learned how to control the binge a little bit more. But as far as nutrition goes, you just have to get back on track as soon as possible. You don't have to punish yourself. You don't have to eat 1,800 calories the next day to try and make up for it if you have a binge eating. If you can, if you kind of went over a little bit, maybe you can. But if you went over by 2,000 calories, you're not going to make that up. You're just not.
True.
Just get back on track.
What do you feel like some of your triggers that can trigger that binge eating? Is it triggers?
Stress and hormones. Those are the two things.
Okay.
I'm also 41 years old and I'm perimenopausal, and I can tell when my estrogen spikes, I want to eat everything. I want to eat everything in my daughter's snack closet. I want everything. So I think trying to manage the estrogen spikes as best as I can, but also managing stress, getting appropriate amount of sleep. Those things are important.
Awesome. That perimenopause. I totally understand. I totally understand. But I haven't learned to give myself grace yet. I beat myself up because I don't know, I couldn't say it's a binge, but I feel like I eat double. Like I'm never satisfied. And it may happen lately because I've been tracking it monthly, but maybe like 2 days. And I don't know if it's a spike. I don't know what happens, but I just want to eat and I'm never satisfied. So I tried to make what I'm eating healthy, but some days I'm going to get, and now people be like, oh, I'm going to get I'm popcorn. I binge on popcorn. I love popcorn. But when I'm having those moments, I need cheddar and caramel mixed.
Yeah. Yep.
And I just need like fatty foods, like fatty foods.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. No sweets. I don't want no sweet. I want savory. I want food. I want pasta. I want food.
Oh, see, I want those heavy carbs.
Yes.
I don't like, this is so weird. I don't like peanut butter. Like I like peanut butter flavor, but I don't like actual peanut butter. So I'll just eat like a jelly sandwich. If I'm binging, I don't just eat one. I'm not going to tell you how many I eat because but I want like the bread and the pasta and all of that kind when I feel like it's hormone related. I really do.
It has to be. It has to be. Mm-hmm. And I don't get it around my cycle. I need to. So it's like maybe a week after the hunger it comes out. I'll be like embarrassed. Like, did I just eat all this food?
Yeah.
I haven't learned to give myself grace because I do feel bad. Like I'll sit back and be like, I can't believe I just like, oh my God. I have to like, did you just eat all that? I'm not lying. And some days it will, and I'll be like, I ain't going to no gym. I ain't going to no gym. No, we're
just gonna drink extra water.
We're just gonna I'm gonna get a little extra water. I'm gonna do a little cardio, but then the next day, like I said, it may be 2 or 3 days. That's it. And then I'm like, okay, something snaps and I'm back to normal. Weird. Right. And I'm just gonna blame it on that perimenopause. Yeah. I'll eat that whole
I'm with you on
if
that.
you let me. Now, here's the thing. I know you're gonna like this. How do you stay motivated when you hit a plateau where you feel like you're not making progress?
That's when discipline kicks in. I think when you stack up history, when you stack up evidence that you have made it through plateaus before, usually if I have plateaued for a period of time, there's like a spike in strength. Like all of a sudden I'll just get really strong. Mm-hmm. Or if it's weight loss, I'm at a plateau, all of a sudden it'll be a sharp dip. So I think just confidence in, number one, I just reevaluate, making sure that I'm doing everything that I need to do.
Right.
But then number two is just reminding myself and going through, I kind of lost my train of thought. Going through and making sure that I'm doing everything that I was supposed to do. And if I am, reminding myself that this has happened before, it's part of the process, and just keep putting one foot in front of the other, because the plateau is gonna break at some point. If it's a longer period of time, if it's a strength issue, maybe I need to change out some of my movements because maybe my body has adapted to them. If
Yeah,
it's food related, maybe I just need to switch up my meals because our body also gets used to eating the same chicken and
the same
rice
thing.
meal
Yeah,
every single.
I agree.
Yeah, and so also just assessing what can I do just a little bit different. Doesn't have to be drastic moves. It's
It
just
can
what
be
can I do?
right. It can be
What can I
something
do a
very
little bit?
small. Yep. And
Yeah.
then it makes the world a different. Like you said, next week you come and hit it's like, how did I hit a PR and I can't
Where'd that
even
come from?
the body is amazing. I love the human body.
Really is.
How has your fitness life, powerlifting journey, how has it influenced those around you?
Well, so my daughter, so my daughter was a gymnast. She has been a gymnast from 4 years old. She started getting runner's knee, and so she ended up having to quit. And so
Okay.
part of her quitting gymnastics, I mean, she was in the gym 5 days a week, 3 hour, her practices were 3 hours long, 5 days a week, which was
Oh.
what gave me the ability to work out as much as I did. When
Hmm.
she had to quit, I said, you're going to come to the gym with me until we find a replacement sport, because you are so used to being active that
Yeah.
you're not anymore. And watching her, it's only been a couple of months, and watching her grow in the gym and watching her kind of mold into this gym community that I've built, and now she's a part of this family that I've built at the gym, is beautiful. Watching her try to chase PRs in her own way is
Oh.
beautiful. So I think that's one thing. My husband, I don't like to work out at home. He started in the last couple of years. He likes to work out at home. So he's got a ton of workout equipment
Uh-huh.
in our garage. And so I think just having a healthier lifestyle started with me, but it's rubbing off on other people. And I think that it's breaking, like I said, I didn't grow up health and going to the gym
Okay.
was not a part of our values when I was growing up. I
Hmm.
wasn't taught any of this stuff growing up. And so it's kind of cool for me to watch my daughter pick this up. I mean, she's on TikTok. She will send me meal plan recipes, and not
Oh.
in, I mean, she's 14, right? So she's like, here's some ideas of what I want for lunch. I want strawberries and cucumbers and a
Wow.
healthy sandwich. And so it's part of that breaking those generational things has been
Yes.
really, it's been beautiful to watch.
It has
Just
been.
one simple decision of me not wanting to be uncomfortable with her at the beach or at the park anymore has taught her how to be a strong female and take care of your body. And it's really been incredible.
And she's learning younger than you. So without a
Right.
shadow of a doubt, when she gets older
Yeah.
and gets married, having kids, that's going to be a part of her life. Her
Right.
kids are going to
Right.
automatically that's all they're going to know is fitness
Right.
because she's been introduced. So you have broken the generation curse because you said you didn't have it when you were growing up,
Right.
but you're
Right.
teaching your
She's not
child.
going to have to overcome the gym fear because she's
Yeah.
growing up in the
In
gym.
the
She doesn't have to
gym.
worry about that. Yeah.
I told my son, I said, you've been training since, boy, you've been training since you was a worm in my belly. You've been training
Right.
all of your life. Like I never stopped working
Right.
out. Never like so. That's all he knows is the gym life. Does he like it now?
Right.
But we rather play soccer. But it was a
That's
period of my
okay.
life where I was like, oh my god, he's gonna be just like me. He lifting weights. He was so into lifting weights. Now he like, I want to play soccer. Sure. So I wear these to block you out, but you're right there. Um. So, about to say, so that's home life. What about work life? Are you like the Jen, ask Jen, she knows. Oh, I ain't gonna eat that around Jen. She gonna be just, you know what I mean? Are you that type of
Yes,
coworker?
yes, that's a big thing, and I could not care less. Listen, I don't care if there's anybody from
Right,
work.
I am
I
not
don't
the
care what
food
you're
police.
eating.
I am not the food
I
police.
really, I really
I
am
don't care
not,
what y'all
because
eat.
I'm probably gonna eat it too in my 20%. Like it doesn't matter to me.
Give me some.
Um, yeah, I think So this is not going to make me sound too great, but I think there's a lot of people at work that are have been interested in like
Mm.
wanting to learn more. I think general population fitness,
Yeah.
it's hard. They're like, I want to go to the gym with you. Come on. I
Mm.
would love that, but I'm powerlifting.
Then they like, what's that?
Right. So when I was Gen Pop fit when I was general fitness, I love for people to come with me. Are you kidding? Anybody was invited to come with me. Not that they're not invited now, but I'm not breaking my training. I pay a lot of money for my
I
training and
know
I'm not
that's
breaking
real.
it.
I know that's real.
But yeah, so I think at work also, so my before I started working for this program with the breast and cervical cancer,
Mhm.
I was the director of outreach at a nonprofit that helped formerly incarcerated people get their personal training certification.
See.
So I was surrounded by fitness professionals. So it was beautiful. It's a nonprofit. They help guys. They're based out of New York City, and they help guys and women that have
Mhm.
gotten out of prison who want. If you think about people in prison, you don't have anything to do except work out. And so,
Yeah.
what a better environment or a population to pick personal trainers from than people who have been
They've
through
been doing
really
it.
hard times, who have gotten extremely creative in their workout routines, and just know how to work. You have to work with a diverse population when you're in prison. You have to speak to diverse
Right.
groups of people. So when they come out, if they're interested in fitness, they can get their personal training. We teach them everything that they need in the curriculum to pass that personal training certification exam. So that was unfortunately my role ended with them, but that was 3 years and it was a beautiful opportunity. Number one, to learn. I learned a lot
Mm-hmm.
from being around personal trainers, but also it gave me the freedom I worked from home. It was a remote position. I worked from home. Everybody was a fitness junkie. So we all worked out at like 9 o'clock in the morning. So as long as, you know what I mean? Like I could get my training in at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
But it was just this culture of health and fitness
So good.
and wellness that was important. So, um, I have been, I would say that I think that I've been influenced more than I have influenced others in that setting.
But you are, and you need to start something for them
Yeah,
and get people introduced to just the basics.
right.
You know what you're
That
doing.
that might be a thing. That might be a thing.
All you need is a group of start off with 5 women, 6 women. Get them started.
You know what? We're moving now.
Get them
Now you
started.
got my gears turning because we're moving to a new
Mhm.
building that
When you
has
was
a
talking,
gym.
I'm like, no, tell her she needs to start that.
Yeah, we're moving. Yeah, that might not be a bad idea.
Yes, they don't have to learn
Hmm.
powerlifting. I'm gonna teach powerlifting, but you know the basics of fitness.
Yeah,
You know how to teach a
absolutely.
basic squat,
Yeah,
which I think every woman needs
absolutely.
to do. Yeah, get on that. They're counting on you. So
Okay.
if any of her coworkers are listening, she will be offering a new program starting soon. free pump, free promo. Jan, she's going to be teaching a women in weights class. It is going to be held. Yeah, she'll give you all the details.
I'll give you the
Make sure
details.
you
April
follow.
1st, starting April
Make,
1st.
right, make sure you go and follow her. There is. Oh, hold up. Here's her banner. This is where you can
There it
find
is.
her. That's your one. If you need information, if you're in the South Carolina area, that is. This is your
Yeah.
one to talk to. Okay. So, Jen, I'm going to always end, but we're going to play a game first, though.
All right,
I
let's do
say
it.
one word. I want a one-word answer. Okay. I'm
Okay.
gonna throw you off with this one. Screws.
Loose.
Jump rope. Well, it could be 2 words.
Oh, jiggle.
Water.
Aerobics.
Mirror. I was just looking at him. I'm sorry.
Beauty.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Fitness.
Health.
Massage.
Heaven.
Donald Trump.
Ooh. Can I say that on here?
You said your one word. You said ooh. I always got to throw people off. I just never throw you off. And that's 2 words, but he just one word. One word today. Donald Trump. One word.
Oh. Wow, this is a tough one. Okay. I'm gonna say
You thinking of a real
dictator.
nice word, ain't you?
Yeah. I'm not, and that is as clean as I can get.
What you say?
I said dictator.
Dictator.
Yeah.
Good word.
Yeah.
Dictator.
Thanks.
No, I know, right? I ain't trying to bring the mood down. Lamp. Lamp.
Say it again.
Lamp.
Shade.
Squat.
Heavy.
Bench.
Can I say bitch?
Deadlift.
Favorite.
There you go. Deadlift your favorite? Deadlift my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I don't got no favorite no more.
I would say,
Not till I
bench
get
and
healed.
deadlift are my 2. Squat.
Your squats look phenomenal. I'll be looking at y'all.
Thank
Man,
you.
like I wish I could squat again.
I'd be working on it. I work on it. It's not easy.
No, squats to me was the hardest lift ever. I cannot
Yeah.
mentally. I couldn't do it. I just
It is.
yeah.
It's.
I struggle
I get in my
big
head
time
about it. Yeah.
all the time in my head. As soon as I unrack the weight, I'd be like, "Oh my God, this is so heavy." And
Yep.
when I think that, sometimes I'll say it really low. I always fail.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
shit, this heavy. I gotta learn how to unrack and be like, "Let's go." But I'm
Yep. I do that same
walking
thing. They yell at me.
walking
They're
back
like,
all
"Stop
intimidated.
re-racking it." Like,
Re-racking, or I'll just stand there forever. Like, okay, if you want to attempt this squats, but okay, well, when my knee get fixed next week,
it's on.
it's on. It's on. I know I'm gonna start little
I'm gonna be
light, but
watching.
it's on. I cannot. When I say I cannot wait, I cannot wait. Cannot wait. Now, I'm going to end the show, but before I end, if you guys follow me, you know that I have these little words of the day, and they're not. It's the word of the day, but I don't do them every day. I only do it when I feel the spirit. You know what I mean? When I feel like something needs to be said, then I'll do a word of the day. So what I'm gonna do before I end, I'm going to ask, say, Jen, what's the word of the day?
Grace. Grace.
Why?
I think that the world needs more grace. We need to give ourselves grace. We need to give each other grace, especially in this. There's a lot. The political climate is a little
Mhm.
harsh, and I feel like everybody's on edge. And I think that we could give each other grace because everybody's stressed out. I think that we're all stressed out,
I agree.
and most of us are doing the best that we can.
The best that they can. So that's why it's important to just be nice to people. Just be
Yeah.
nice. You never know what people are going through. And you never know if you say something that could be the icing on the cake for them and they could do something. You know what I mean? Just be nice.
I
Give
went
people
I
grace.
went to Walmart yesterday. I just had to run in, run out, and there was a girl. She was like, I don't know, high school age. And I watched her shoot every single person that she walked past. She was saying something kind to them. And it was my turn. Like she walked past me and she said, "Oh, your eyes are so beautiful." Let me tell you, for the rest of the day, you couldn't tell me nothing.
Walking
And I
around like,
think
I know
we
y'all
need
see my
more
eyes.
people. Yes, we need more people just being kind. Just be
Just be
kind.
kind. I tell people, just be like, let it. Woosah.
Yep.
Let it go. If you can't change the situation right now, let it go.
Let it go.
And pay somebody a compliment. Just tell somebody, because that'll make you feel better. Even when you
Yeah.
ain't feeling better. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
When you ain't got a lot of money and you broke, give.
Yep.
Trust me. You don't got a
It comes
lot,
back.
you penny. Just give anyway. Give
Yep.
anyway. When you feeling
You're
down and
right.
out, tell somebody how beautiful they are. I'm telling you, you start speaking. Because what happens is when you start speaking positive affirmation, it gets into the world around us. It shapes the world around us.
It
You
really
ain't got no other
does.
choice but to start feeling better. So that
Yep.
girl was probably doing that for her. She not even know how it was affecting you,
100%.
but she probably was doing it because she wanted to feel better.
Yep.
And
She
she
had the
helped
biggest
all those
smile.
people.
She had the biggest glow. I mean, I could just see her glowing. And you just want to be around somebody's energy. And it's
Hmm.
because they practice things like that. They're just kind and they're kind-hearted and they're positive, and they project that into the world, and I know that it comes back to them. So
It has
just
to.
yeah,
And it didn't feel like immediately that comes.
yeah,
You start telling people, "Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, you got beautiful eyes." Automatically, you like you feel happy. You feel because you put a smile on somebody's face, and that stuff like that happens immediately. So grace, give people grace, and just be kind.
yep,
Say please and thank you, and
yes,
smile. It works.
that's it.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Because, like I said, you could be doing a whole bunch of other things. You got a whole family, but you chose to spend this last hour with me, and for that, I'll forever be grateful. Thank you
Thank you for
again.
yes, thank you for
Thank you for
having me.
coming
This was
on. I still didn't
wonderful.
do my thing. I still didn't have my hand clap. Yeah, when people be clapping, I gotta add that on. Still learning how to do the StreamYard thing,
That's okay.
but I do want to have my clapping hands sound. But I do want to thank you. Thanks for coming on. We will have you back again because in my mind, I'm thinking I want to do a panel talk. Maybe six
Oh, I like
fitness
that.
influencers, different areas of fitness, bodybuilders, power lifters, Olympic
Yeah,
lifters. We'll have some fitness coaches. We'll have some nutritionists. Just want to do a panel about just the basics of
I
fitness.
love that. I love
Basics of
that.
fitness. So keep in mind because you like that girl in powerlifting. So yeah. So even if you want powerlifting information, this is the one to go to. She's very well versed in this sport. She knows what she's talking about, and she's a judge. So she gonna know. She gonna make sure you right. Okay. So
That's
judges
right.
do. So Jen, thanks so much again. Have a great evening, and
Same
I'll
to
see you
you.
around social
Thanks,
media. Thank you
everybody.
so much.